Go to Google and type Rathod's IAS. Then you can see our website, Rathod's IAS Academy. There you have to click on login or register in the blue color. So if you have not registered yet, you have to click on do not have account and fill the details. So once you have login, click on the courses. There you can see course list. And in this course list, you can see wide range of courses. Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 15th June 2022. So let's get started with our discussion and let us try to see today's quote. So today's quote is given by John Maxwell. He says that the secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda. So your daily agenda will determine your success. Your success which mainly depends upon your daily agenda. So if you are working hard consistently for at least 6 to 10 hours a day, yes, the success will be there for you and you can clear this UPSC for sure. So you should be consistent and you should be dedicated. And you should do hard work along with smart work. So now let us try to say first topic, it is regarding malnutrition in India. So malnutrition in India is a worry in a modern scenario. So this topic is very important because one important challenge that we are facing in India is malnutrition. So to address this malnutrition, there are a number of steps that are mainly taken by government and even number of schemes. For example, you can talk about midday meals program. You can talk about integrated child development scheme program, and you can talk about even Anganwadi centers and their role in helping the pregnant women and even children. And even we are having number of schemes like PM Poshan, and we are mainly focusing on especially providing some nutritious food. Okay, we are talking about fortified rice. Okay, so these are some important steps taken by the government. So even though there are number of steps, number of schemes came up by government, but recently National Family Health Service which mainly says that yes, this malnutrition is prevalent in India. So this article which is mainly talking about some details regarding stunting, wasting and as well as anemia in India, and what are the steps which are taken by government and even what is the way forward. So this article which is mainly giving some insights into this malnutrition. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So this topic is important from your health point of view, which mainly comes under your GS paper 2. And this topic it is extremely important from your mains, not from prelims. So here, if you are talking about introduction of this article, author mainly says that good nutrition has the power to empower the present and as well as future generation. So if you are having a good nutrition, so it will be like a vicious cycle. Okay. So for example, why we are talking about this malnutrition now? So why malnutrition is in news now? So actually this 2022 year, it is very, very significant because it is a 75 years of independence. So we got independence, and this year 2022 which mainly significant because so it is 75 years we got this independence. So if you are talking about introduction, author mainly says that India's greatest national treasure is its people. So as you all know, India, it is the second most populous country in the world. The first one is China and second one is India, right? So we are having people as a national treasury. So especially if you are talking about women and children, so they are facing some problems regarding malnutrition. So even after 75 years of independence, so majority of these women and children, they are mainly having some crisis in their nutrition. So they are not getting proper nutrition, and that is one important cause for malnutrition. So if you are talking about especially women who are pregnant, so especially whenever pregnant women, they are mainly facing poor nutrition. They are not taking proper nutrition, means what happened? So this nutrition status of this pregnant woman, that will be having some impact. Definitely some impact will be seen on the nutritional status of child. So whenever the nutritional status of the newborn child is affected by this pregnant woman, so here today's children, they are going to be the tomorrow's citizens. So in this way here, so this nutritional cycle, this poor nutrition of this pregnant woman, which is mainly having some impact on the newborn child, and it will be having some effect on their futures as well and on their future generations. So whenever child who born, so they are mainly facing with this undernourishment, means what happened? So because of this undernourishment, it will be having some negative impact, right? So that will leads to underperforming in their study. So there is no proper performance in their study, and because of this underperformance, they will be having limited job perspectives or prospects. So we will be having limited jobs. There will be no proper skills that are present in that people. So this vicious cycle that mainly continues. So this vicious cycle which mainly restrains the development of the country, and as well as it will be affecting mentally and as well as physically, that will be having impact on work capacity as well. That will lead to finally reduced work capacity. That will lead to finally reduced work capacity. So if you are talking about marginal improvement, so yes, in some areas we saw some improvement. So here, especially in tackling this, malnutrition among children and as well as women over a past decade, yes, we had made a significant improvement. Okay. We can see there is declining rates of poverty and increased self-sufficiency in the food production, and even government came up with implementation of a number of programs which mainly focusing on malnutrition. And recently here National Family Health Survey 5, which mainly shown that there is some significant improvement in the nutritional indicators. But whatever the progress we are seeing in this malnutrition, so here this progress is automatically, it is slow, it is not much fast. It is one important issue. So if you are talking about children in various states, they are more undernourished now than they were 5 years ago. So here 5 years ago, so how undernourishment that is mainly seen, and especially in some areas we can see more or several undernourishment that is mainly seen in tribal areas especially. So if we are talking about details regarding stunting, wasting and anemia, which is mainly given in this National Family Health Survey, so there was some reduction in the stunting rates, that is 35.5%. Okay, so earlier it was like 38.4%, now it is like 35.5%. So we can see there is some reduction in the stunting rate. So stunting rate means, what is the meaning of stunting means? So according to their age, how much height they are present. Okay, so in stunting we can see the low height to age. Okay, so low height to age, so this is called as stunting. And high amount of stunting which is mainly seen in states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, West Bengal and Kerala. And the malnutrition trends across this National Family Health Survey, which mainly shows that even wasting, okay, wasting, it is a more visible and is also a life-threatening form of malnutrition. So it mainly remains stagnant over years. So what is a wasting? That means weight to height. Okay, weight to height ratio is called as wasting. And in India, we are also facing one more problem, that is anemia. So anemia means low amount of hemoglobin that is present in the blood. So what is the important function of this hemoglobin? So hemoglobin, it is very important because it mainly carries oxygen to all parts of our body. Okay, so oxygen is very important for the survival of the cells. As you all know, cells are the basic structure and the foundational or fundamental unit, right? So here whenever there is low amount of oxygen, means that will lead to anaerobic reactions, and that will lead to deposition of lactic acid in the body. To minimize that, we need a proper oxygen. So how we can get the proper oxygen, and how this oxygen can be transported to each and every cell, that through the blood. And in the blood here, hemoglobin, that mainly carries oxygen. And if we are talking about National Family Health Survey 5, which mainly indicates that more than 57% of women who are between 15 to 49 years of age, and over 67% of children who are between 6 to 59 months, they suffer from this anemia. Okay, so 57% of women and 67% of children, they are suffering from this anemia. So anemia, it is one of the major consequences in the terms of human health development. So whenever there is no proper hemoglobin levels, or whenever there is anemia, so that will lead to decreasing of work capacity of individuals. So whenever there is decreasing of work capacity, yes, automatically it will be having some negative impact on economy and even national growth. Okay, overall national growth and even on economy, we can see some negative impact. And especially in the developing countries, they lose up to 4.05% of GDP per year due to iron deficiency anemia. And India lose about 1.18% of GDP annually because of this anemia. So what is the need here? So if you are focusing on need, yes, we need to increase our investment. Where? So investment in women and child health, and we need to focus on nutrition. So whenever we are focusing on nutrition, that will help to ensure sustainable development and improvement of quality of life in the people. And government which mainly focus, that should be on consolidation of several programs to improve outcomes, and we need to focus on increased financial commitments as well. And apart from that, so we can focus on Anganwadis. Okay, Anganwadis, and we can focus on this Portion 2.0 program that are mainly focusing on this nutrition for women and children. And here under this Portion Abhiyan, there is a need of 32% of funds are released, but those funds have been not utilized. So this is one cause of concern, and we need to address this. And India need to adopt outcome based approach regarding these nutrition programs, and we need to focus on monitoring the needs and interventions in their constituencies, and even raising of awareness regarding issues, impact and solution. Because whenever there is awareness that is seen in the people, yes, they will be going and they will be feeding good nutritious food for their children. Okay, so here first awareness is very important regarding what will be the issues if you are not taking proper nutrition. So what will be the impact? So how can we address this malnutrition? So these are some awareness programs that can be conducted by the government, especially they can take help of this village panchayats, village heads, and even some influential people, okay, peer groups, etc. So those help can be taken by government, and they can go for conducting of awareness, and they can also take help of NGOs that are present in that area. And we need to go for basic education, basic awareness among every individual, okay, such that they will be taking some steps to change their nutritional status. Okay, so here we need to go for strong linking between mother's education and improved access and compliance with the nutritional interventions among the children. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding end the war. So this article which is mainly talking about Russia-Ukraine war. So this article is important from international relations, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So already you know that the battle between this Russia and Ukraine which is mainly going on, and the battle for this Severodonetsk, okay, it is one of the easternmost part of this Donbas region. So where here what happened because of this war which is mainly going on this easternmost part of this Donbas region. So Ukrainian forces, they still have defensive positions, but here what happened, so Russian troops, they started destroying all the bridges over this Donetsk river, such that they will be losing the connectivity between the city and as well as the sister city. So this is the one important step which is mainly taken by Russia. So Russia which mainly started destroying all the bridges that mainly present across this Donetsk river. So this river which is mainly acting like an connecting link between the city and as well as sister city, that is Lysychansk. So here Russians, they now have more than 80% of control of the industrial city now. Okay, but here what happened, Ukrainian forces, they are also fighting, okay, and they are mainly providing a tough resistance to these people. So if Russia which mainly takes control over this Severodonetsk and as well as Lysychansk, so the entire Luhansk Oblast will be in the hands of Russia. Okay, and after this event of capturing these two important cities, so they will be go for occupying of this one more industrial city, that is Kramatorsk. Okay, it is one of the last industrial city in this Donbass, still under control of Ukraine. So in the recent weeks here, Ukrainian troops, they have taken heavy losses in with this Russian forces, because they mainly blasted the way to this Severodonetsk using this artillery fire. So because of this is in news here. So here now let us try to see one important dimension here is, so officials in this cave, they said that up to 200 Ukrainian soldiers, they were being killed every day, and troops are running out of shells and as well as ammunition. So especially now Ukrainian soldiers, they are facing crisis, they do not have proper shells and as well as ammunition. So because of this, daily about 200 Ukrainian soldiers, they are losing their life. So despite of their brave resistance in this north and as well as northeast region, so now what happened, Russia which mainly started attacking from the other region. Okay, and if you are talking about Western countries strategy, so Western countries, they had been a twofold strategy. So first they started sending money, and not only sending money but also weapons to Ukraine to help and to provide a great resistance to this Russia's aggression. Okay, next one is, while arming Ukraine has certainly slowed down Russia's advances and also fails to stop this Russia's war machines. And if you are talking about some important cities in the east and as well as south, for example Mariupol, Berdyansk, Kherson, Severodonetsk, they could be the next. And if you are talking about economic sanctions, yes, Western countries, they impose some sanctions on Russia. So what is the impact of the sanctions on Russia? So the economic sanctions, they had a mixed result. Okay, sanctions, they hit hard economy of Russia because they were mainly banned from this fifth payment system. And what happened, economy is mainly expected to contract by 8.5% this year. And at the same time, they continue to reap a windfall from high oil and as well as gas prices. So what happened, internationally there is high price for this crude oil and as well as gas prices. So from this they are getting some money. And next one is, there is also increasing of inflation in the market. It already hit the global economy the most. And Ukraine's economy, needless to say, faces collapse. And if you are talking about this article, author mainly says that as weapons and sanctions approach has been unsuccessful in its objectives. So here we need to go for exploring of how to end the war. So Russia, whose invasion has pushed the world to the brink of devastating security and economic crisis, it has primarily the responsibility to end this war through a political statement. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic is regarding child marriages. So actually recently this child marriage is in news because we came up with increasing of legal age for the girl to get married here is from 18 to 21 years. We increased that. So what is the impact of increasing of age? Okay, mainly to prevent this child marriages, which is mainly given in this article, and this article which is mainly giving a particularly a new dimension. So we need to know about that. So this topic is important from GS paper to under society and social issues. So this article which is mainly talking about child marriages. So as you all know, in India there is rampant child marriage that is mainly seen. So whenever we are increasing the age for the marriage of women, will solve this issue or not? So this is a one big question that is mainly present. So what is the question here? So whenever we are increasing the age of the girl child to get married, so whenever we are increasing the age limit, so whether this step which mainly solves the problem of preventing of child marriage or not. So whenever we are going for increasing the age of marriage, which mainly claim to bring some substantial benefits at the individual and as well as at the societal levels. But if you're talking about study in the South Asian region, so which mainly talks about, yes, there is significant association between early marriages and as well as they will be having some impact on the adverse health and educational outcomes of women and their children. So whenever there is an increase, okay, whenever there is increasing of age, what happens? So yes, there will be having some certainly some impact on this health of women. So this is the thing which mainly said. And if you see here, early marriages, so whenever we are going for this early marriages, they will be having some adverse impact on the health. So they will be having adverse impact on the health, and not only health but even educational outcomes of women and their children. So your studies, they mainly says that early marriage of women with early pregnancy, that mainly led to lower likelihood of accessing this antenatal care, and there are also higher risk of maternal morbidity and mortality, poor institutional status of women, and even poor nutrition and educational outcomes of children. Yes, whenever we are going for early marriage means, yes, we will be getting early pregnancy. So whenever we are getting early pregnancy, that will be having lower likelihood of accessing to the antenatal care. So they will be not going to hospital for checkups in the hospitals. So that is called as antenatal care. And because of this no proper antenatal care, so the neonatal risk will be very high, and even sometimes during delivery we can see maternal mortality, okay, that is mainly seen, and even poor nutritional conditions of the women, and poor nutrition, and poor educational outcomes of children. So this is a vicious cycle that I explained in the first article. And these studies which mainly says that rather compelling case for increasing the age of marriage for women from 18 to 21 years. So as delayed marriage might offer significant public health dividends as well. Okay, so if you are talking about association between the child marriage and as well as adverse health impacts, so here yes, we will be having some negative impacts for sure. So rather than the structural factors, we need to also focus on the social norms like poverty, women education. So they will be having some impact on these child marriages. Okay, so whenever they are very poor means, yes, they will be going for getting their children married fast. And next one is here, because of the social belief in the many regions and as well as many cultures, parents they go for beginning of preparations for their girl marriage once she reaches this menarche. So once she enter into this reproductive age itself, so here many parents they will be going for how to get their girl child married. So large proportion of this child marriages, they mainly take place primarily because of poverty and as well as burden of huge cost of dowry, etc. So one important cause for this child marriages here is, yes, first and the utmost important one is poverty. So because of this poverty, they are going for early child marriages. And next one is, so whenever they are not marrying their children at an young age, so whenever they are mainly going for the marrying their girl child at older age, yes, there is a huge burden of cost on dowry. So because of this some important problems, now we are seeing child marriage are very much prevalent. So apart from this, we are also having some factors like girls' opportunities to continue their education. So there is a lack of educational opportunities. Okay, so because of this we can see there are rampant child marriages are seen. So if you are talking about this National Family Health Survey 5 data, which mainly says that 25% of women who are between age of 28 to 29 years who are married before the legal marriage age of 18, so the proportion has declined only marginally from this National Family Health Survey 4. So here this article says that here this child marriages are seen highly in rural areas. Okay, so that is about 28% of child marriages that are mainly seen in these rural areas, and in urban areas about 17% of marriages that is mainly seen. And if you see the state-wise data, here West Bengal, which mainly has highest prevalence of this child marriages, and its position which mainly occupied by Bihar and as well as Tripura. So if we are talking about what are the educational outcomes, so if you are talking about the data, okay, data community wise, so 39% of these child marriages in India, they take place among these Adivasis and as well as Dalits. So in Adivasis and as well as Dalits, we can see higher amount of this percentage of child marriages. Okay, and next one is in terms of household wealth, 58% of these marriages, they take place among these poor wealth groups, that is bottom 40%. And next one is 4% of the child marriages in India, they take place among women who had completed more than 12 years of education. So only 4% of child marriages in India, they take place only women who have completed more than 12 years of education. So here this data which mainly says that child marriage takes place among the women with less than even 12 years of schooling and as well as households. They are mainly socially and economically they are backward or disadvantaged. So what is a way forward? So here increasing of age of marriage for women without commensurate improvement in the women's education, then what happened? It will be having some negative impact or adverse impact on the poor and as well as illiterate people. So in fact that 1/4 of the women who are mainly between the age of 18 to 29 years in India, they had been married before 18 years of age. Okay, so it mainly tells that, so what are the law which is present in India, it is not going to decrease this child marriage, it is not going to fully prevent this child marriages. So here women need to complete education at least up to 12 years. And the case of Bangladesh, if you are talking about case study, so yes, they are very much focusing on improving of women education and as well as imparting of some modern skills to them. So whenever there is modern skills which are mainly imparted in the girls, yes, they will be go for employability or they will be getting some jobs. So because of this, it mainly reduces this child marriages and even helpful to improve the health and as well as nutrition status of women. And educating women is very much important for their personal freedom and as well as social well-being, and even that will be finally contributes for this human development as well. So the legalistic approach, it is to increase the age of girl for marriage. It will produce some positive results only if we are mainly focusing on improvement of women's education, and whenever we are mainly focusing on improving of the skill and acquisition of employability. Okay, in absence of this women's schooling or skills, so whatever the legal approach that we are coming for this curbing of this child marriages, so it might become counterproductive. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. So title says a closer look at Reuters Institute Digital News Report. So here we are talking about this Digital News Report 2022. So this article is important from your GS paper 2 under society point of view. So if you are talking about context, it mainly says that according to 2022 Reuters Institute Digital News Report, which mainly says that trust in news is falling. Okay, trust in news is falling in nearly half of the countries surveyed. So in the half of the countries surveyed, they mainly says that there is decreasing of trust of people in news, especially younger people. Okay, they are mainly focusing on other social media platforms like TikTok rather than traditional media of news. So if you see details, it mainly says that, so this study, it is an annual one which mainly commissioned by Reuters Institute of Study of Journalism, and here this organization which mainly tracks how news is consumed in the different countries. And this report, which is one of the important because it is the 11th report, and this survey which is mainly based on questionnaires. Okay, so it is mainly conducted by YouGov. It is a British market research and data analytic firm. Okay, so it mainly covers 46 markets in 6 continents. So the average level of trust in the news, which mainly says that about 42% they were found. Okay, they are found to be lower than the previous year. So India, which mainly registered small increase in the level of trust, okay, with 41% of trusting news overall, and in about 53% in YouTube and 51% in WhatsApp. So they were some top social media platforms of sourcing news. Okay, so this is about this topic, and now let us try to see next topic. Title says Center clears Agnipath scheme. So here you have to know about this scheme. So this is very, very important. Okay, so now let's try to talk about this Agnipath scheme. So why this is in news? So recently our defense minister, he announced that Agnipath scheme, it is mainly for recruitment. It is mainly for recruitment of youth in armed forces. It is about recruitment of armed forces, okay, for 4 years. So you have to remember this, it is for 4 years. So this might be your prelims statement as well. So it is a process of recruitment that this process will be commenced in 90 days So with a planned intake of about 46,000 youth, okay, young men and women this year. So this will be the only form of recruitment of soldiers into 3 different services from now. So either it may be into Army, Navy and as well as Air Force. So if you see details, it mainly says that Agnipath scheme, which mainly aims at providing an opportunity to patriotic and motivated youth with Josh, Jazba to join his armed forces. So especially youth, they will be more inspired to join his armed forces, right? So for them, so this is one of the important golden opportunity. So this is mainly for the period of 4 years, okay, this mainly period of for 4 years, and thereby those people will be infused a transformation shift towards a more tech savvy, youthful and as well as dynamic armed forces. And the implementation of this scheme, which mainly expected to bring down the average age of this profile of Indian armed forces about 4 to 5 years. So if you see this infographic, you can know some details regarding this Agnipath scheme. So if we talk about duration or age, it might be regarding 17.5 years to 21 years, and the duration of the service, it is for 4 years including training period, and first year salary will be like package around 30,000 per month. It is like 4.76 lakh approximately, and upgradation in the 4th year you can get like 40,000 rupees as salary. And next one is post release, so they will be having Seva Nidhi package of approximately rupees 11.71 lakhs including interest rate free. And this one is non-contributory insurance cover, it is like rupees 48 lakhs if there is any death which mainly happened. And Agniveers skill certificate will be given, so that will be helpful for job opportunities after this 4 years of time period. So if we are talking about some facts regarding this scheme, so it mainly approved by Cabinet Committee on Security, which mainly chaired by our Prime Minister. And this scheme, it is one of the transformational recruitment scheme by our government. And in this scheme, there will be recruitment of soldiers, sailors and as well as airmen in armed forces, navy and as well as our air force. And the people who are recruited are called as Agniveers. And the scheme, it is a step towards building of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And this Agnipath scheme recruitment, which is mainly slated to begin in 90 days. Okay. So who are these Agniveers? So candidates who will be recruited to this Agnipath scheme in this armed forces, they are mainly referred as this Agniveers. So they will be given some unique opportunity to serve their country. Okay. So this is about this Agniveers. So you will be having one doubt like, so after completion of this 4 years, so what we can do? So once we came out of this. So yes, we will be having 2 options. So first one is Agniveers, they will return to society with an aim to contribute to the national building process. And under this scheme, so they can also receive sometimes attractive re-employment opportunities as well. And apart from this, Agniveers, they will having some opportunity, even they can apply for this permanent commission in this armed forces based on their performance in these 4 years of service. And next topic, it is about unemployment has decreased, says latest labor force survey. So recent labor force survey says that there is decreasing of unemployment rate. So this article is important from our economy point of view, which mainly comes under our GS paper 3. So now let us try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that unemployment rate which mainly saw decrease of 0.6%. There is 0.6 percentage of decreasing of unemployment which mainly seen. Okay. So now if you see the data in 2019 to 20, unemployment rate was 4.8%. And now in this 2020 to 21, unemployment rate is 4.2%, that is decreasing of 0.6%. So this data which is mainly released by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, MOSP. So if you see details, it mainly says that so about 4.2% of adults who looked for the job, they couldn't get any work in rural and as well as urban areas in the country as per the data of 2020 to 21. So rural areas which mainly recorded an unemployment rate of 3.3 percentage, and urban areas mainly says that about 6.7 percentage of unemployment rate that is mainly seen in this urban areas. So what is this unemployment rate? So unemployment rate is nothing but the percentage of unemployed persons in labor force. So how many amount, okay, how much percentage of this unemployed persons who are present in the labor force? So that ratio is called as unemployment rate. So what is labor force? So labor force is nothing but according to the current weekly status. So this is the number of persons either employed or unemployed on an average in a week. Okay, that is called as this labor force. So actually there was one question which appeared in 2013 regarding this unemployment. So discussed unemployment generally means. So if you see this question which appeared in 2013, so here we can also talk about different types of unemployment. For example, structural unemployment, frictional unemployment, okay. So there are many types, cyclical unemployment. So you have to know about different types of unemployment and what is the difference between one unemployment to another unemployment. So it might be also your mains question and even interview question. So this discussed unemployment, it means marginal productivity of labor is zero. And if you're talking about some facts regarding this periodic labor force survey. So actually here this periodic labor force survey which mainly launched in year 2017 by National Statistical Office. And the important objectives of this periodic labor force survey here is to estimate key employment and unemployment indicators. So they are mainly focusing on employment and unemployment indicators, and they mainly focus even to estimate employment and unemployment indicators as well. Okay, so this is about this, some facts regarding this PLFS. And now let us try to say next topic. It is regarding elderly lack financial social security, which mainly says according to study. So according to study, it mainly says that yes, elderly people did not have financial and as well as social security. So this article is important from our society because these elderly people, they also forms under part of our society. So this article is important from GS paper 2 and even from governance point of view. Here we are talking about social security. So if you see details, it mainly says that a national survey which mainly carried out by Help Age India, which mainly says that about 47% of elderly people, they are economically dependent on their families. So 47% of this elderly people, 47% of these elderly people, they are mainly dependent on their families, and about 34% of these elderly people, they mainly depend upon pensions and as well as cash transfers. So let me know some important schemes which are mainly implemented by Government of India and your states to provide some pensions for these elderly people. Okay, so this dimension is also very important. I am trying to give you dimensions such that you can think in that dimensions and you can revise the topics such that it will be helpful for a way to clear your UPSC. So what are the homeworks I am giving? So please try to ensure that you are doing that. So that will be finally beneficial for you people, not for me. Okay, so now let us try to see the details. It mainly says that this report which mainly released by Social Justice and Empowerment Ministry Secretary on the eve of World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. And actually this survey which mainly conducted by NGO, non-governmental organization, and in this survey they include about 4,399 senior citizens and about 2,200 caregivers across 22 cities. And this report says that about 52% of this elderly surveyed, they reported that they do not have proper adequate income, and 40% they said that they do not feel financially secure, and about 57% they said that their expenditure was excess than compared to that of their savings, and 45% of the people, they said that what are the pension amount they are getting, it is not enough for their survival, because in this elderly people, so because of increasing of age, whatever the cells are present in the body, they will be becoming weak, and as well as they will be becoming old, so that they will be getting number of comorbidities Comorbidities means they will be having different diseases like hypertension, diabetes, kidney disease, liver disease all together. So because of this, the medical expenses of these elderly people will be very high, right? And the survey also found that about 71% of the senior citizens, they were not working, and about 36% they were willing to work, and 40% they wanted to work as long as possible for becoming financially independent. And 30% of individuals, they were willing to volunteer their time for various social causes. And the report which mainly highlighted the way elder abuse is perceived and as well as reported. It mainly says that about 59% of elders, they felt either abuse. Okay, abuse was prevalent in the society, and 10% they report they are victim themselves. Okay, so this is about this topic in detail. And these are some important articles that appear in the today's Hindu newspaper. And apart from this, I will be showing you some headlines of today's Hindu newspaper that might be also relevant from your UPSC point of view and even from your state public service examination point of view as well. So now, let us try to see today's questions. So first one, it is regarding National Commission for SCs. So National Commission for SCs is set up under Article 338 of Indian Constitution. There has been empowered to investigate all the matters related to constitutional and other even legal safeguards for which following communities, that is SCs, STs. For STs we have this National Commission for STs, so we can eliminate this second statement. Anglo-Indians, other backward class communities, that is answer here is 1, 3, 4. And next topic, next question here is 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. So which is or constitutionally mandated bodies under the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992. First one is State Finance Commission, next one is State Election Commission, District Planning Committee, and next one is Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha is not included, so correct option will be 1, 2 and 3. And today's questions are the first one, it is regarding democratic system of government in India, and next one it is regarding 18 functional items which are mainly present in the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992. So these are the two questions for the practice. Try to give me the answer for these questions in the comment box. So now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So before seeing this today's Hindu, I want to make a small announcement. We in Rathod Science, we came up with this mains answer writing practice course of this June batch. So this course is very useful because we are giving weekly targets. So based on that weekly target, daily answer writing practice will be there and will not take more than 15 to 20 minutes to write that answer. Okay, and Sundays we will be having essay or case study practice. There will be evaluation of your answer. We also provide you model answer for you, and even we will be providing you one-to-one mentorship. So this course is absolutely beneficial, and the cost of this course is just 7,200 rupees for 1 year. So you can easily have access to this course, and it is very affordable and as well as accessible for everyone. And apart from that, we also launched foundational course for UPSC 2023 and 2024, and the validity of this course, it is for 2 years, and we are providing more than 600 hours of video classes, and we are discussing with a very basics onwards till advanced, and we are also covering current affairs. Apart from that, we are also covering previous prelims and as well as mains questions. So in this way, this course, it is very useful, especially for the beginners and even who have gave their attempts. Okay. So the cost of this foundation course is just 60,000 rupees with the validity of 2 years. So this will be very useful, and try to join this course. And if you want to take only individual courses, like if you want only economy, only polity, ethics, international relations, like that, you can also take single modules. So this will be also very useful. Okay. So now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So before that, if you have any queries, so please call me on this number 8074765513. And if you want a PDF of this class, you can get the PDF in our Telegram channel. You can join the Telegram channel, and the link is given in description box. And if there is any news which is important, I will be sharing some notes in the Telegram as well. So please join the Telegram channel, then you will be having much benefits. Okay, so now let us try to see the today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our today's Hindu PDF. The first article, it is about 10 lakh persons to get government jobs in 18 months, announces Modi. So this topic is very important because here in the coming 18 months there are about 10 lakh jobs they will be available. Okay, so especially in some sectors like railways, armed forces, and as well as GST department. Okay, so this topic is very important because one of the important challenges that we are facing in our economy is unemployment, which has been emerged as one of the major challenger, right? Okay, major challenge. So here this is the one important announcement which mainly made. And next article is regarding WPI inflation, that is wholesale price inflation, which mainly quickens to record 15.9%. If you are comparing with the last month, so the wholesale price inflation, which is very much high. And if you move forward, there is nothing much which is there in the city page, and as well as the states page, you can simply leave those pages. And if you move forward in this editorial page, so one article which is important, that is C factor in this Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, so here this article I didn't explain you, so please try to go through this article. It's mainly talking about this cyber weapon, cyber attack. And next topic, it is regarding this inflation. Yesterday's lecture we discussed about this retail inflation. And here regarding this malnutrition, I discussed this topic. I discussed regarding this topic of Russia-Ukraine crisis. And here in this op-ed page, I discussed regarding this topic of child marriage. And if you move forward in this text and context, there is one article regarding this new Google chat bot. Okay, so here this is nothing but artificial intelligence technology. So here you need to know about what is this neural network. So neural network, it is like an artificial intelligence technology. And here this neural network, which mainly mimic the web of neurons in the brain to learn and to behave like humans. Okay, so we are mainly having some early effects in building neural networks, and we are mainly focusing on image recognition like that. So here you need to focus on what is this artificial neural network. Okay, so this is very important. And if you move regarding the next topic, is regarding about this digital network. Okay, digital news report. So this article is important, and I discussed this topic. And if you move forward in this newspaper, that is page number 10, you can see articles regarding this Agnipath scheme. I discussed this topic. And next topic is regarding minister to visit Russia for economic meet. So this topic is important, especially from your international relations. So here you need to know about what is the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. So this part is very important from your prelims. And if you move forward, India must insist on returns to status quo on borders in the talks with China. So this article, which is mainly it is one interview which is mainly given by this National Security Advisor, National Security Advisory Board chairman. He is a former chairman. Okay, so he is mainly talking about, yes, we need to come up with the status quo regarding this India-China border talks. And next topic is regarding unemployment, which mainly decreased. So this article I discussed. And if you move forward, there is one interesting article. This is regarding new plan to save jumbos from train hits. So actually what happened, so this elephant killings are mainly seen, especially when they are hitting the trains. So whenever trains are hitting these elephants, that is leading to the high number of mortality of these elephants, which are mainly seen. So because of this, now here one important thing which is mainly given in this article here is they are going to analyze the geographical patterns, because some areas they will be having terrains, some areas they will be having hills, some areas they will be having plains, slopes, etc. If they are having the pattern regarding this geography of that area, then they can go for better management of plants, which is mainly done by this railways. And next one is youth avoiding news, says this Reuters study. Okay, so this article is important because number of times we can see youth, they are mainly focusing on social media platforms, and there is a less interest which is mainly shown by this youth. They are mainly watching these news channels. And next one here is Indian workers, they treated like slaves in Qatar. So actually this article which I explained, I think 3 or 4 days ago in one article, yes, there are a number of problems which are mainly faced by the labor, especially when they are going in search of work for other countries, especially these Arabic countries. So in this Qatar, what happened? So we will come across one word, that is kafala system. So in this kafala system, they mainly these people who are mainly going to work in this other countries, they will be facing severe trauma because these Indian workers, so those passports will be taken away, and the seizing of passports are mainly seen, and there are bad working conditions or living conditions, overtime work will be there, and even sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, and forcibly making the people to work in the areas in which they have no skills. So in this system of working is called as kafala system. So kafala system, which is mainly related to managing of labor. So this might be important from your prelims. And this one is elderly lack financial and social security. I discussed this topic. And next here is, there is nothing much important from this world page and even this business page today. So these are some important articles that appear in the today's Hindu newspaper. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture. So please subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy, and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. And don't forget to enroll to this mains answer writing practice and as well as courses that we are offering in our Rathod's IAS Academy. So by this I am concluding. Thank you so much.